other file that I guess that you sometimes see along with it.
No, Richard, I think it's the same hash. It's the same hash. It's just different name.
Well, that was pretty uneventful.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, all turn on Windows firewall. The firewall was turned on.
Yeah.
And the you know the no, actually, no, I don't see anything.
His mouse is right here. Now he's up here.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing as you are. But there's not much.
Yeah, there's really not much there, unfortunately. But you can go in here and see exactly what happened though. So you can follow along. Multi-AV scanner detection for the submitted file. Yara detected iced ID. Yara detected iced ID. There's a Twitter. There's that
And what is
again?
What do we know about iced ID?
Well, then you want to Google it and say, what is iced ID? Also known as BakBot, modular banking Trojan that targets user financial information and is capable of acting as a dropper for other malware. Iced ID is primarily dropped as a secondary payload from other malware, most notably Emotet. Ooh.
Oh my God!
In addition to its own mouse spam campaigns.
This is getting exciting by the second.
But you see, I mean, you can basically just go down the rabbit hole, and you're documenting all of this, and you're going through and finding all that information. It's really quite fun.
Yeah, the key word is documenting, because you get lost. Look how many opens you're working on your host machine. I mean, you've got a lot of windows open. But yeah, I think documentation is very important.
For sure.
Everything.
Let's see what else we have here.
So let's recap, Richard, just for our viewers. So far, what do we have?
So far, we know that IP address 192.168.200.8, which was host machine JH1UZAE $. That's the actual computer's on. Craig.Alda was logged into that host machine at this IP address, connected with this IP address here, and initialized a file download that is 3.dll. There's a possibility that this was done through opening an Excel file. Most of the community information was connecting that to an Excel file. We don't know that for sure without a little bit more of forensic information, but that being said, just doing a reputation scan on that IP address shows that it was malicious. So if you download this file into a safe environment, a virtual environment like I'm working in right now, you can get the hash of it, take the hash, which in this case this is the MD5 hash here. Also have the SHA-256 hash here and the SHA-1 hash here. Any of them you can upload to VirusTotal, and you'll see that you gather a score of 55 out of 71. So it's a very malicious file. And some of the other associations we were seeing are some additional files that we could potentially look for. Also, some additional IP addresses that we could look for as well. One of which we actually researched, found it was also malicious, and was notably connected with this type of attack as well. So we've been able to find out quite a bit already. We know this machine is compromised, and we know that it was, or at least at this point is compromised and is connecting to some pretty bad actors there. So
can we constat? Oh, excuse my French. I'm not sure this word. Constat. Conclude that this IP is a C2, is a command and control?
Not yet. Not yet. Right now, all we know is that he reached out to that computer and had a file downloaded. In order to find out what this file actually does, we would need to sandbox that file. So we would need to actually take that file and upload it to see what it will do. So there is a couple things we can do. So in this case, what we might want to do is actually go to hybrid analysis. You could go to sandbox.analyze.io. You could go to AnyRun. AnyRun is pretty amazing. Unfortunately, the free version, you're a little limited on what you can do. But what you can do is you can actually upload the hash. So you can do a new task. Well, yeah, here we go. So if you go to the public tasks, you can actually type in the hash, and then you can find other people that have run it. So for instance, if I take this MD5 hash, and I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to upload that file right here. And we do have some activity where somebody had run this. So we can actually click on this, and what it'll allow us to do is actually see a little bit more of what this file is actually doing.
Oh, nice.
So you can actually play this and watch and see exactly what happens. The other thing you can do is you actually have information right here in the analysis portion that it gives you that will allow you to see some very specific things. Like for instance, you've got DNS requests here. You've also got connections. So you can see some of the other IP addresses that it connects with, right? And then you can also see some of the DNS requests that are done as well. There's no threat information here, which is interesting. You can also go to files, and if there's any files that were downloaded, you can see what they are. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me at the moment. Failed created Activision content, so that really doesn't give us much there. Well, let's see if we can see what it does here. So child process was created. So you can see the processes over here on the side as well. See, you can see the processes are being created as this is happening.
Interesting. DLL register. Funny. It says our services uses cookies. Of course you are.
Can you guys can see the AnyRun screen?
Yes. Yeah, it says DLL register server.
So you can sit and walk through that, and you can see the different activities and so forth that they do, which is pretty cool. But you also have the process tree over here on the side as well too. that you can click on to actually see some of the other information as well.
It says web plat storage broker server. That, okay.
So that's a 32 out of 100 on that one there too. I'll be honest, I'm looking through this one for the first time with you guys, so.
I mean, we are learning.
See, IOC is up.
Hmm.
Nope. I guess
Can
I
you
can't
click?
do that. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Click on the attack matrix.
There's a text report of it.
Oh, okay. So this site is based in Russia. It's hosted in Russia, right?
Yeah, I think it's based outside the US, I believe.
Outside of the US, okay.
This
I get
was
it.
dropped or rewritten executable, so it actually looks like it ends up getting a run DLL 32. So it replaces, remember we were talking earlier about the legitimate file? It looks like
Yeah,
it rewrites that legitimate file.
that's what the warning at the beginning that showed up
Mhm.
in Windows.
Yeah.
So that should trigger an alert in the if they were running an agent of FireEye or.
For sure. Well, and theoretically, again, this hash is known malicious. So, I mean, that hash should automatically,
Mhm.
fire on an endpoint as well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do we have it in our environment? If not, we can create a group for that.
I don't know. That could be something you can do on the side now that you have the hash.
Yeah, I do have the hash actually.
So
And the other hash.
pretty cool stuff though. I mean, you can really learn a lot, and just by playing around. This is actually cool because this shows you what portions of, or in what part of the MITRE ATT&CK framework the process was in. So you can see the execution part, and then the defense evasion, the discovery. You can see some of that access, which is pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is a really cool tool. It's it's something you have to do outside of some secure environments, because some secure environments won't allow it because it's based out of the US. But
Let's see. So this is targeting Windows machines specifically.
it appears that way. A bare minimum focused on Windows and uploading DLLs. So let's see, where are we? So I mean, we found quite a bit. I think we could probably stop there. We could pick up and continue on the next.
Yeah,
the next one.
yeah.
But that was pretty cool. There was a lot to see there, and believe it or not, I think there's actually, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more too.
Do you one more last request? If you can copy paste those
The notes.
Yeah, the notes.
Yep.
I can put them into my. You were typing a little faster. I was doing something else.
No worries.
Okay, so homework.
Homework, I would say to try to dig in a little further, start looking a little bit further in.
And add that DLL hash into our FireEye, and add those other IOCs that we found, including the IP addresses, the domains, anything that is associated.
Yep, you could put the domain. You could put the domain name in there. If if you find some additional ones too, you could add those as well and bring those next time.
Okay, great. This was excellent. We learned a lot. Thank you very much, Richard.
Absolutely.